Hello everyone, this is Freeblade Frenchie. Welcome back to another one-take video in my gloriously messy bedroom. I call it creative chaos, and that's the difference between a depressing person and a happy person. One person can get very sad about the state of their room, but that's not me. No, creative chaos it is. Today I thought I should do a video because I'm a little bit slow on getting back into things, and we both know, you and me both know, that I should have done one about Wonder Woman and about what people were saying about it and getting on the hype and the run up to it, but I forgot, didn't I? Well, no, I didn't really forget, I just didn't get around to it, bad me. But I will obviously do a review when I've seen it, and maybe I'll do another one shortly, just talking about the reviews and maybe giving you a little bit of insight into it. I think it's going to be great. But today's a little bit of a different topic. Obviously, my usual videos are gamey, geeky, films, anything I'm interested in, that kind of thing. But I always want to do videos about things I'm passionate about because I don't want to be limited to just one thing in terms of videos. I want to be able to do whatever I want to do. And so we're talking about the V word today, voting. Now obviously I know a lot of you guys who watch my videos, welcome, hello, I love you all, are from America. So I don't know how much you know about the general election going on in the UK at the moment. I imagine it's kind of mentioned in fleeting, the same way we get about America news over here. But yes, our lovely Prime Minister, Theresa May, decided to call a general election, one thing she promised not to do, because basically she's bailing. To put it lightly, she doesn't want to have to deal with the Brexit issues that we voted for. And she's jumping ship, is the best way to put it, really. Calling a general election means that now another party can come into control. So for the US, this would be like the Republicans becoming a Republican government, like you've got with Donald Trump at the minute. This would be the equivalent of giving the Democrats another chance to get in there. So the main contenders are the Conservatives, who are the posh elite people. This is going to be a biased video. I was going to try and do a non-biased video and just be like, hey, go out and vote. Whatever you're voting for, go and vote. And I will say that at the end of the day, even if you're voting Conservative, even if you're voting UKIP, please do go and vote, obviously, on the 9th of June. I'm kidding. No. You should vote for whoever you feel is going to benefit you the most, I suppose. But also, you know, who's going to take care of the country the best. Conservatives, Labour. We'll get more into it in a second. The main two contenders, as always, are the Conservatives and the Labour, i.e. Democrats and Republicans. I'm trying to, you know, just dumb it down a little bit. That's not exactly the same, but kind of. For me personally, the Conservatives represent the elitist people. They are usually backed by the people who own all our very popular newspapers, a lot of the TV channels. All those guys are Conservatives, and all the people who own the newspapers, who print stuff that most people think, oh, you know, the newspaper's saying it, so it must be true, are backed by Tory people who want the Tories to stay in government. So we can get, just to clue you in on what kind of stuff the newspapers have been printing, it's unlikely to be backing Labour. Of course, they have to be unbiased, but everyone knows if your newspaper's owned by a Tory supporter, what's the newspaper going to be filled with? And you probably can tell I'm a Labour supporter. And it's interesting for me because I went through a period of not wanting to vote at all. I'm a very big fan of Russell Brand's The Trues and a lot of what he says about, you know, the government. In the past, he did a great chat with Jeremy Paxman. I would totally recommend you look it up, about how every party is pretty much the same. You know, they're full of elitist people who have all gone to private schools, who all have loads of money, who somehow want to rule our country. And essentially, I wasn't very much for voting for a very long time, but I did go and vote in the last one, and I voted for Labour with Ed Miliband, even though I wasn't really, like, very fond of him. I thought anything to get the Tories out. So it's quite scary, really, because if the Conservatives get in for another 5 years, we could lose the NHS, which is our national healthcare service, which means everyone gets free healthcare. And losing that is pretty scary. A lot of people don't realise, I think, or don't maybe feel the sting, but then of course everyone's felt the sting recently. I think some people don't realise how powerful and evil the Conservatives are, to put it lightly. I know that's a very harsh thing to say, and I'm really trying to be professional about this. A lot of people buy into what they promote, which is a strong and stable government. It's it's not strong and stable. There's been cuts to the NHS, there's been cuts to policing, which has had a major, major impact on finding people who are at risk of being radicalised and turning into terrorists. Ask any ex-policeman. There was a thing on Sky News about it. A former investigating officer was talking to a Sky News reporter, and she said, "Oh, you're saying the government's lying?" And he said, "Yes, the government's lying. What we need are community support officers who are on the ground every day, talking to people, finding out what's going on, talking to people who might be at risk, and in the communities, which then goes back to MI5 and everyone else." So the government at the moment, the Conservatives are talking, you know, we need more investigating officers, we need more people looking at the terrorism plots, but it's no good if you've cut the people who are on the ground every day talking to regular people. So that's going on. Basically, the main purpose of this video was just to tell you to vote. If you're in the UK, please, please, please go out and vote. You know, Brexit was primarily controlled by the older population who wanted us to leave. I don't know how you feel about leaving the European Union. A lot of younger generation people wanted to stay, and a lot of them didn't go and vote, which is why we're now leaving the European Union, because older people think they know best sometimes, and they went and voted because they're from that generation. So please, please, please go and vote. If you haven't registered, well, you're fucked, but never mind. Vote next time, please. This is very important to me. It's very close to my heart. I did AS level politics a year early at school, and I got a D in it because I did it a year early. It was hard. It was very hard. So ideally, I would say please vote for Labour. The thing is, it's being run by a man called Jeremy Corbyn, who is pretty much as average looking as you can get. He didn't want to sing the national anthem. He doesn't always do his tie-up. He looks a bit rough. He has a beard. He doesn't look like the usual guys, and that scares our government so much, and it scares the Conservatives and the elitist people, because here is someone who wants to renationalise the railways, which is what they should have been, and then the Tories made them privatise, which gives us very, very high prices in terms of ticket prices and terrible service. Jeremy Corbyn wants to make sure that, actually, this is a great one, he wants to give free education to students, which is incredible, because education should be free. And I think it's free in, like, is it Scotland or Norway or Holland or Sweden, those places that are really expensive to live in. It's free there. He would like it to be free education for students, which is amazing. And if that's not an incentive to vote, I don't know what is, because we need more people staying in education, because you can learn so much, and it's an incredible experience, you know. And the debt is a huge thing to put people off, put me off, but I still went. And he was also looking at ways to cut the debt for students who are leaving and have to start paying back the money at £21,000 when you earn that much a year, which would be great for me as well. So he just seems like a good guy who wants the best, and, you know, he takes the tube to work. He buys the big issue, which is what homeless people sell on the streets, and he wants to do some good, and his slogan is for the many, not for the few. You know, the way they're planning on funding all of this stuff, you're like, oh, there's no special money tree, as the Conservatives like to say, is by taxing the rich people, you know, the people who've got money in offshore accounts, who have thousands of businesses under their name and live in huge mansions. We'll just ask for a little bit more money from them. You know, by the way, as you've got plenty, can we have some to keep funding our NHS? Because actually the NHS and a lot of hospitals are closing right now because we can't afford to look after people. So can we just borrow a little bit of your money? Whoa, no, actually, there's no special money tree. Don't come and take our money. You know, it's awful. And I am slightly worried that if the Conservatives win again, which they well might, I think the polling at the moment is something like 40% for the 40.1% for Labour and 41% for Conservatives. We might have a hung parliament, in which case someone has to work together with somebody else to do the governmenting, which we had before with Tories and Lib Dems, which was awful and bloody shambles. There's no way Conservative and Labour will work together. They're completely different. So that will be even worse if we get a hung parliament. So we really, really need people to vote, to take part. And if you've been struggling in the UK, you know all about it anyway. You know about the NHS cuts. We can't lose our NHS. If the NHS is privatised, we are all up shit creek. You know, it's our saving grace. The work they do, the nurses, the doctors. And as I said, the money to pay for all these renationalising the railways and NHS and everything is going to come from the rich people. So corporation tax, things like that, you know, Chrome, Google and Starbucks and all the other guys who aren't paying their tax get the money from them. So there is money. There's plenty of money to go around. So I'm sorry this has kind of been me yelling at you, me just talking about my political agenda and all the rest of it. I didn't want to vote before, but I did because I knew that maybe it would make a difference. And this is how I feel this time as well. We're so close to maybe fixing our situation and sorting out the economy. And God, I want the Tories out so badly. You know, the average people aren't represented by the Conservatives. They're not. They're not represented by them. They don't stand for what we believe in. They don't know about our lives. Jeremy Corbyn has always been about peace and about, you know, against the wars. He knows a little bit more about what it's like to be your average person struggling with a 0-hour contract and everything else. So come on, guys, let's go and vote, and maybe we can sort this out and everything. Those in America, please wish us well. Hopefully we can get out of this. So yeah, a little bit of a different video, but I had to do it because I just wanted you all to encourage you all to get out there and vote and be part of the general election. Okay, so I hope you're all well. I hope you're all fine. Thank you as always for coming along. Hello and welcome, and I love you all to my new subscribers. There's quite a few of you now. I'm very, very happy about it, and I can't wait to show you more videos, and we can all be on this journey together. And, you know, I'll move out eventually and I'll have a computer, and I hope you get to see the journey of me getting more into YouTube and doing more things and exciting things and giveaways and all the rest of it and stuff like that. And I hope you're along for that ride, okay? Be cool and be kind, guys, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next episode.